couple of minutes late. My bad. I just took a shower. These are not actually real glasses. They're meant to help my eyes with, what do you call it? Kahunsho. And kahunsho is basically hay fever, pollen, all that good stuff that comes along with spring. It was a pretty warm day. It was like in the mid 70s at one point. That's like in the 20s, lower 20s-ish. Anyhow, I don't really need them. Just thought I'd show them off. All right, let me just kind of do this. Let me adjust this just a little bit. Hold on a second, guys. Ooh, all right. I think it's kind of low. All right, so thanks, man. Should I put them back on? Do I look more like you, SJ? It's a look, right? Do I rock it? Do I rock it? Hold on a second. I'm gonna adjust my light just a little bit. Oosha. This is what happens when you decide to shower, like, right before you decide to do a live stream. But I was home all day. Didn't really wash up. Maybe TMI, but... All right, that's a little bit better. Okay. All right, hello, what is going on? Earlier than usual? Well, no, actually, I try to, because Spring Forward, right, USA. For everyone else that's not in the States, it is earlier. I know it's about an hour earlier, but for everyone back at home, my home, sorry, back in the States, yeah, it is 6:15, 6:20-ish, so I figured it's better to do it earlier. And it helps, because I need to unwind at night. Anyhow, all right. So this weekend, I actually stayed home all day. There were shows that I could attend. Hello, what's going on, Scruff? There were shows that I could have attended, but I chose not to. And also because I couldn't, because I had to work on stuff, and I will get into that soon. All right. So let's just get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is Band-Maid's Acoustic. And all I can say is that I can't really say anything about it because there isn't really that much info. SJ touched upon it on on his Osaka Acoustic Billboard video we just dropped a few days ago. And I kind of expected this because, you know, when Band-Maid planned on doing an acoustic, it didn't hit me till later on, but when they planned on doing an acoustic once in Osaka in March and then once in April in Tokyo, it just kind of struck me, well, they're not going to try to do two very different set lists of acoustic, you know, versions of their songs. There's definitely songs that they've worked on, that they've done, that they could, you know, do again. Manners is one, Different was a great one, you know, Anemone, all the ballads, Page, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it didn't make sense. So basically what I can tell you about the acoustic is that there's not much. It is at the Billboard venues. They are meant for more of a sit down. What I do know, and what was shared is that they did eat together, they had drinks together, they kind of sat next, you know, across from each other and enjoyed the show. Very intimate setting, very warm, very, yeah, it's a very atypical, it's not really a, I don't know if you'd ever find another Band-Maid show like this, which is great. You know, this is, again, these types of shows and these two, which were originally meant for omeishus, who are the paying members of the website. This is a very, another case of FOMO, basically. And that's what Band-Maid has really established and done well, is that they're very good about producing shows that are once, maybe twice in a lifetime, and that you won't get again, ever, you know? And so they sort of kind of go into the annals of history, and that's that, you know? So it's kind of cool. I appreciate it. It can be frustrating, especially for people who do not live in Japan. But then even in the States, there's FOMO situations. And that's just how Band-Maid operates. And what, again, I think they are skilled at doing is producing shows that are special, atypical, unique. And it's they kind of double down on, I think, what Japan is very good at is not mass producing, which makes sense to a strong capitalist country like America. It's like, well, you can make so much more money just by doing this. And that's been a discussion like over the years with various people. Like if they just did this, if they just sold this, if you know. But I think what Japan likes to do, it's not only in the area of music, but with like anime, just like special little benefits. It's all across. Why they do that? Why is it so different? Why is it so frustrating? That's just how it is. Different cultures, different folks, different strokes. Different strokes, different folks. Yeah. So what you talk about, Willis? All right. So yeah, I'm excited. I do have a ticket for the front section. I think it's the very front section of the Tokyo show, which will be April 13th, which is in 3 weeks. So in 3 weeks, I will be sitting very close up. I'm not sure which side I'll be at. Yeah, I don't know who I'll be close to, who I'll be near, but it's going to be a great show. I'll be close to someone or, the stage. What's kind of funny is I posted on our Patreon, Tokyo MN and Tokyo Plus. I posted actually a video from 2019 of Band-Maid promoting a Happy Jack show. So Happy Jack is a show that's put on, I don't know if it still is, but it was put on every, excuse me, every year. And Miku is talking, and then Misa's just on the side, just kind of like hitting herself against the wall. And then she hits her head against the wall. But she had the straight hair, just the straight bangs. And don't get me wrong, I mean, she still looks great. But I can see why I was so obsessed with her for so long, for so many years. And it's definitely changed. But when I saw that video, I was like, gosh, she's so cute. Yeah. Anyhow, it's a little personal thing. So the acoustics should be great. I don't know if people will leak news. I know I personally got some flack because I shared the set list in one of our videos. But again, I assumed that people who really wanted to know would find out and would actually play our video and like look through it. People who didn't want to know and were attending wouldn't watch it. That was kind of my assumption. Anyhow, we don't have a choice now, so it's good. It works out. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. I don't know if they'll be wearing new attire. I don't know if they'll be wearing their new battle armor or if they'll go even more fancy and do something different. I don't even remember seeing that many like group photos. I didn't look too much, but yeah, it's quiet, which is really interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I will let you know when it happens in 3 weeks. I will do a recap of that. Okay. So yeah, that is the Band-Maid news. That happened on 3/20, which was a holiday. For myself personally, I could not go to Osaka and I didn't get a ticket. I didn't apply for it. But I was actually asked by Sally's management to do photos. Sally, guitarist for Mellows, LOC, who just released her solo album. I reviewed it a bit last week. But yeah, this Sally, I think many of you know, as I mentioned, she was the founder of the band Lipstick, which Mayu of Nemophila used to be a part of. At that time, she was known as Cindy. So what exactly is her real name? I guess it's Mayu, but who knows, right? So that was very exciting. That was a lot of pressure. The previous week, I had been given the privilege of doing photos for Undying Words. And let me go back and bring out their CD. So, you know, Aya, who is a bassist, producer, singer, all that stuff. Yeah, she had asked me, or did I ask her? One or the other. But it worked out, so I get to do photos. So that was a lot of pressure. When I'm asked to do photos, that's a lot of pressure. The first time that happened was doll parts. Arisa contacted me and said, "Can you do photos?" I was like, "Oh shoot, I do a lot of photos. I'm not that bad, but there are times where my photos aren't as good as I wish them to be, wish they were." So yeah, for Undying Words, I did that. The most pressure was doing the photo of the bands and then the fans, because it was pretty. It's not a shot I've done, and it's a really deep shot. So you want to get as many people in focus as possible. But when you try to get as many people in focus as possible, you lose a lot of light on your camera. So you have to adjust things and you're not sure. So same thing with Sally. And I'll go into that. So yeah, let's see here. Do I even have the flyer up here somewhere? No, I don't. Okay, but I will show you guys the shot. Since the photos are really small, it's a good thing. You can't really see what I've edited because I'm not officially allowed to show these photos. But I can do this group shot. Oh, wait, what did I just do? Okay. Okay, so this is the group shot. We'll talk about that. But yeah, so the bands that played, Sally and her session band, there was Ibuki on vocals, there was Mitsuru, who used to be with Bright Ear back in the day, on guitar, Azu on bass, and then Mari from Bloody Mary. From Mary's Blood, playing drums. And now, I actually didn't know, and I don't know that much about Mitsuru. So I saw her, I felt I had seen her, but I didn't know from where. So, I was in the back room, and I was like, oh, I've seen her, but I don't know from where. So I didn't want to ask. And it wasn't until later I found out. And I was like, oh, shoot, I should have talked to her and told her. So, but yeah, I talked to Maria a bit. That was it for the Sally band. Hades is Hades. They're probably the most comfortable band, probably next to She Glapes, in terms of interacting with them. It's very easy just because I've known them for so long, and I feel like we just kind of understand each other, to a certain extent. So it was great seeing them. It's been a while, and I'm not going to see them for another couple of months because they're not going to be doing the Sala Fest or the Yuri Fest. They're not doing the birthday shows in May. They're just going to be doing the one-man show on the 24th. Is she from Marta? I don't know, to be honest. She's with the same management as Sally, but I wish I had another phone. Anyhow. All right. So that was that, and then there was Little Lilith. Now, the cool thing about this show was that Sally's management, who I do contact, just messaging, said that Little Lilith wanted photos as well. And I had hoped that I could do photos for Little Lilith as well, because I've never done photos for them. And selfishly, I know that Lily, the lead singer of Little Lilith, is close to Kimi of Bright Ear. And I know that Erica is also close and chummy with Ayumi, along with Sally. There's all these connections, all these friendships amongst all these bands. And I know that if I can, have just a really good portfolio, it'll be that much easier to find opportunities. Again, like this one, right? Me connecting with Sally through Mellows and then doing photos because I was close to Hades. So it's like because I was close to Hades, Sally had seen some of my photos from Hades, and then I got in connection with her management, and then they said, "Oh, can you do photos at Kuya's birthday?" And I was like, "Yes, sure, absolutely." And then that led to me doing photos for this show. So, it's kind of how it works. There is no like systematized way, but you just got to be on your game, which is scary as hell because I'm not always on my game. But yeah, okay. So it was a great show. It was fantastic. Seeing everyone was great. Again, doing photos for little Lilith, for Sally, for Hades, and it was just a fun show. Like it's great. Like they're all such top tier bands, um, and it's crazy that there are as many um, top tier bands and shows going on like in the near future. Like there's all these bands that I personally love and that I feel close to in some way, whether it's a personal relationship with them or it's just the music that grabs me. So I'm really fortunate, and I think Japan is really fortunate. And you guys, hopefully, if there's live streams or if you're coming over, like some of you are, will be fortunate to witness these shows where it's going to be fantastic. Um, so yeah, this was definitely one of them. And to be honest, I'm glad that the show is done. It's like I love taking part in these really important, memorable, even, historic shows, but it scares the hell out of me. Yes, there was a new mellow song. It's good stuff. It is good stuff. Um, so yeah, uh, it's scary to be a part of it because I don't want to be the link that screws everything up. And photos are very important to me, and I'm sure to these bands. So yeah. Anyhow, so that was that. And then the following day, another show here in Shimokitazawa, very close to me, Dim Rays was playing. And it was another small venue. It's actually a couple of floors above the venue of the place that I saw them a few weeks ago with Alan of Dichotic. And, and the place is called Lifeholic on the 5th floor in Shimokitazawa. So Dim Rays is Dim Rays. I did photos for them. They're always open. They're always willing to have photos taken, and it's great. Like when bands are like that, and you don't have to worry too much about like management because it can get in the way. So I'll show you just a few photos real quickly that I took of them. Some of them I posted already on Twitter X. So this was a really cool shot I got of Naho kicking. She's probably, her and Yui of My Little Devil are probably the two most animated bassists I've seen. Everyone has different ways of moving, of course, but Naho gets nuts. Like she gets wild. And to the point, which also happened with Haraguchi, right? Like she, at a show in the States, I remember she like fell over like a monitor or something. But yeah, Naho, like she was moving around so much, she just like fell on her ass at one point, like at one of the shows. So yeah, it's cool if you can come over and if you can take some photos. Bands will love it. So I'll just kind of go through them real quickly. Yeah, she gets nuts. She gets absolutely nuts. But that's one of the reasons why it's so fun to shoot photos for Dim Rays. Like some bands, some members, musicians aren't quite as animated, and that does make a difference. Yeah, you guys are definitely coming at a good time, Chris and like Russ and all of them. So I got to see them, saw some familiar faces, as I always do. I think every band has very faithful, loyal fans. And so I think even though some of you guys think like, oh, Peter gets to interact with these bands, like, and they know him so well or whatever else. You could be the same way if you attend their shows, like if you lived here. Because, the fan and band interaction is so close and it's so intimate compared to, well, no, I can't say that with the States. You can be too with smaller bands. But there's such a close connection, especially for fans who are there every single time. And there are definitely fans who are at every single damn show that a band will play at, whether it be Dim Rays or Bright Deer or it's like Sega, whoever else it is. Um, but the cool thing is that it was hosted by Geki Rock, and I am familiar with Geki Rock because Band-Maid was promoted by them quite a bit back in the day. They still are, but there was quite a bit back in the day. That, of course, there's money involved, there's connections involved. Band-Maid definitely got a lot of help. And luckily, fortunately, their music really lived up to the hype. Some bands maybe not as much, and so they don't quite take off to the extent that Band-Maid does. But there are bands that will get that kind of promotion that other bands don't, just because either the money isn't there or the connections aren't there. But it was hosted by Geki Rock. I think there were like 5 or 6 bands. There was one band that was actually suggested by a subscriber, Moscati, I don't remember. But the band's name is MNW or MNW. I forget exactly. It's a little different than what I thought it was. But it's a couple of girls. Their sound goes sort of new metal. It reminded me of like Sabotage. Really cool band. They've got that again. They've got that sort of that metal with the rap and with like really kind of cool choruses. And I'll play a song for you that I actually really like. And no, what? No, that's not it. Okay. And the funny thing about this song is that oh yeah, I saw a thumbnail of that. So the funny thing about the song is it reminds me of a baby metal song. What was it? Was it Gimme Chocolate? There's a certain section of a baby metal song where the intonation is very similar. So anyhow, let me play this for you guys real quickly. And again, if it gets copyrighted, that's fine. I realize with the live streams, I'm not gonna get like that much money off of it. So why not promote these bands, right? While I'm at it. It's got sort of what you want. Yep. I'll somehow try to survive without those 47 cents. So unfortunately, I didn't get to see them perform because their stage was a lot earlier. I still had to work, and I basically just biked right over to the venue after I finished. But they had already performed, and then another band had played after them. But I did talk to them. I gave them my card. I probably will contact them and set up an interview at some point. But it's cool. Like I like their sound, I like their style, but I really do need to see them live. But this chorus just gets me. All right, so that's that. Yes, they did. They have a lot of shows in the Shimokitazawa area, which is good for me because I can always stop by. Let's see. Should I do one more? Sure, I'll do one more. They only have 949 subscribers. Feel free to stop by. I liked Here We Go. This is their latest one. I'll play this just a little bit. Beastie Boys, right? The flow, the intonation. At least to me, it sounds very Beastie Boys. But then this goes more into the new metal style, right? This is more maybe Limp Bizkit. And then I picked up 2 of their CDs. Interesting chorus transition. It's almost mellows like how big a transition the gap there is. Hold on. It's kind of like Mellows. Their what was it, Himitsu Secret Closet? Even their look is similar to the Mellows video. I like her vocals. Yeah, she's got cool vocals. And then it goes right back into the heavy. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's that. That's MNU. You guys can check them out. Again, I did get a couple of their CDs. Choshio Dodai and then Kamasu. Yeah, check them out. Check them out. And then the other band, which I don't know if you guys will be as into, but they had a cool vibe too. And it was funny when I was watching, it's these 2 guys, and it definitely gives you right off the bat White Stripes vibes because it's a guitarist and it's drummer. The guitarist, main singer, had blonde hair, and then the drummer had black hair. But I was looking at them like a lot. I was like, these guys have to be brothers. These guys have to be brothers. And it turns out that they're twins. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce their name. I'll show a photo that I actually downloaded. So these 2 guys, really cool guys. There are certain bands who have, I don't know, I think they try too hard and it's cringy to me. Like, I don't mind people getting into it and really just losing themselves on stage. But there are people who seem a bit too performative. Even that sounds strange, right? It's a stage, you're entertainers, you should perform. But for me, my personal preferences, there are people who are too performative, who have a certain way about them that's a bit too posturing and too sort of preening. And it kind of like, it makes me really sort of lose the appeal of the band. And I say that because one of the bands I saw was like that, at least one of the people. These guys are really cool, definitely getting into the music, having a lot of fun, really enjoyed their vibe. But it's sort of a drum and bass, which I don't know if you guys are really into with the music, but it's sort of drum and bass. They're influenced by surf rock. Their first song that they played, the riff was a lot louder, a lot cleaner, but it hit really hard, like when I was watching them, and it was such a cool vibe. But their name is Turquoise. Sounds like turquoise almost. Yeah, how do you pronounce this? TYRKOUAZ. But yeah, they've actually got a fair amount of views, which I was surprised about. Their biggest one is called Emit Light, which has over 100,000 views. So they're not unpopular, they're not unknown. But I'll play this one, which was pretty cool. It was the last song they played, called Crush Core. See how you like their sound, how you like their vibe. But yeah, I never got to see White Stripes. But it's fun when you're sort of club crawling around, going to all these different places. There's a lot of effects on their sounds. But they're fun. If you get a chance to see them like live, I definitely would recommend it. So this was at Sonic Mania. And there are backing tracks. So I don't know if you guys are into this. I feel like a lot of people watching maybe wouldn't be. But it does have almost like a club vibe, the music. Again, drum and bass. But with rock involved, yeah. Let me play the song that I really liked when I first saw them a few days ago, this Thursday. It's an interesting video called Windy Surf. And again, I wish you could hear the riff better, but it's easier to hear it live. Very surf rock. This is not two twins. Twin brothers, a band called TYRKOUAZ. Saw them at a small venue in Shimokitazawa along with Dim Rays. Hey, what's going on? They're both guys. Yeah, so Shimokitazawa is a great place to go. There's like tons of venues there. Up and coming bands. Check out their YouTube. TYRKOUAZ. So this is your set list from that night. It was cool hearing this live with like that much reverb and just like, it was great. Again, good vibe, good energy, just a lot of fun. All right, so I'll stop it right there. But yeah, so that's TYRKOUAZ. You guys should definitely check them out. The last thing I want to talk about from that night is that Dim Rays has signed with a label, New Blood, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Was that correct? Yeah, New Blood Records. New Blood Records, and then they ended up printing 200 copies, only 200 copies of Bad Taste on CD. So it only has that song. I did open up mine. It was 120. Oh, very cool, very cool. But yeah, so 120 was my number. So these are probably in the 120s as well. So I have 7 of them. I think 5 of them, maybe 6 of them are spoken for. Alan, if you want a copy of this, let me know. We'll talk about it, and I can send you one or have it sent to you. Okay. So yeah. And I felt bad because after the show ended, I wish I could stay longer, but I have to get home. I have to walk my dog, feed my dog, and take care of stuff. So, oh, okay, got it. Rich, and then maybe Alan. I think those are all spoken for because other people hit me up. I should have gotten more CDs, but yeah, they're definitely. I think Dim Rays is definitely thankful. Shoot, Michael, I don't know, but I may see them again, or I can probably ask them. So, yeah, hang on. Let me see what I can do. If there's extra copies, maybe I can give you guys all of these, and then I can get an extra one. I don't mind if my number is later on down the line. Yeah, so I felt bad that night because I really had to go. So I kind of jumped in and squeezed my way into the line. And I was like, okay, can I get 8 copies? And I just grabbed it and I took off. And then one of the guys, yes, I did save you one. So one of the guys in line was like, hey, you gotta go in back. You gotta wait, get in line. And I kind of, generally, I'm very respectful and I really do abide by the manners. Yeah, again, let me confirm that before I give you a copy, Mike. I think other people again I bought for them, but I'll get back to you. But then every now and then I am able to access my American like dick. That sounds weird, my American dick. Yes, my Korean American. And I was like, look, I gotta go. I was like, Akane, 8 copies, please. Got it. Thank you. Bye bye. I'll see you later. So I was like, thank you for telling me to go to the back, but I gotta go. So that's what I did. But I apologize. That's not typically my style, not typically how I do things, but there are times where I just have to push and just do things, and it helps me a lot because I'm able to do things that I think maybe some Japanese people can't just because of how they've been raised culturally. And for me, when I kind of want certain things, I really do push for it for the betterment or detriment to myself. Yeah. All right. So that's that. That was my 2 shows. Not quite the weekend. It was Thursday, Sally's show. And then Friday, it was Dim Rays and then those 2 bands, EMNW and then TYRKOUAZ. Definitely check them out. They're really cool. There were 3 shows that I wanted to attend this week, this weekend, but it was just too tough. Where did I live? I lived in LA, or a place called Tahunga. But I grew up a lot. Okay, cool, man. I'll see you later. Yeah. So New Blood Records. You guys, you can check it out on their Twitter X. There's info there. So they want to go big, so help them out. What was I saying? Sally, that. Oh yeah, the bands that I wanted to see. Okay, cool. Sorry. So let me just show you the shows that I wanted to attend. So there was the Doll Parts One Man, which happened last night at Shibuya Cyclone. And then they have another one man on April 19th at Aoyama Rizumu, which is where I took photos for them last time I saw them, or before that. Yeah, I saw them a couple times. Yeah, I'm sure I could have gone and asked Adisa if I could take photos and just gotten in, but I had to work on photos I had taken previously. That's the tough thing about editing photos for shows, is you gotta really try to stay on it or else it gets backed up, which has happened before. So there was that last night. They have a new album coming up. I don't know the exact date. And then they also got new artist photos. So they have a new band photo and individual shots. And I think I can share this. So Urisa had asked me if I could do these photos for them, but they were going to be done. Yeah, there is a new album, but they were going to be done on a weekday, so I couldn't do that. Okay, cool. Very cool. Oh, the album release. It's right here. It's actually right here on the flyer. Okay. Maybe I can go to that one. We'll see. There's another show that day as well. Another show that I wanted to attend that I probably would have gone to, and I could have done photos for new bands I haven't done for them. So Nadeshiko Doll, they're a couple from Hokkaido, I believe Sapporo, and they have their 15-year anniversary tour going on right now, and they had invited Amai Dantodai, sort of VK style, Full Moon, which they're always fun to see live. Shoujo S, who's always great. Like, they have such a party mood when they're playing. And then Shabena, which is short for Shabere nakereba ii onna, which means you're a good girl if you don't talk. Don't ask me why. It's a band of girls, so they're not being derogatory. There's a reason. Maybe one day I'll interview them and find out why, or just ask. The drummer from Exist Trace, Mally, plays drums for them. And then the singer is the Hyena Cat. So yeah, that would have been a cool show to attend as well. And I kind of have this thing with photography now, is it's very Pokemon-esque. You know, I kind of get into this sort of Ash mentality, and you got to catch them all. But I've learned, thankfully, from last year and from mistakes to sort of, you know, put on the brakes. And it's okay to miss shows, which is what I did yesterday. And then today as well. Today was also a pretty cool show. I thought I had the flyer here. Yeah. So there was a liner show. And if you guys are on Twitter X, it's always, if you ever see liner, those are pretty good shows. With this one, there are definitely bands that I knew, some that I didn't. Kamisama no Aribai. I saw a bit of them. They were okay for me. You might like them. Empress. I'm cool with those girls. I think they're very fun. It's more poppy. The Frail. I had talked to Arisa and Gina, who were both at Sally's show on Thursday. And I said, maybe I can go, maybe not. And okay, this is sort of a, not a weird highlight. I'm sure it'd be a highlight for a lot of you guys, and it was for me. But so this is Arisa. She is the new guitarist for The Frail. This was after they switched names, went for a darker look. But Arisa is actually close with Little Lilith, and I believe Erica specifically. But she followed along Gina because Gina was doing mellows that night, and so Gina was there. But Arisa, when I saw her a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago at the Undying Word Show, she looked at me and I was like, oh, hey. And then I forget whether it was this she did to me or she did like a heart thing to me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. And then when I saw her a couple days ago at the show, I was like, oh, hi, Arisa, how are you? And then she was like, she was trying to think of what to say. And she goes, oh, I miss you. And I was like, oh, that's so nice to hear. I don't think I've heard a girl say I miss you in like ages. It's been a while. So it was very cool to hear that. I was very touched. And I do wish I could have gone to the show today and I would have done photos for the Frail, which I usually do when I attend their shows, but I couldn't make it out this time. Just, again, getting some rest and working on stuff. So, yeah, and then Gina, okay, I'm going to share with you kind of something a little bit embarrassing. So I was in the back room. Hades is there, little Lilith is there, you know, Mellows is there. Like, most of the people are there that are supposed to be there for the show that night. And then on my phone, which I'm using right now, on my phone, on my home screen is a photo of Gina that I took at the Undying Word show because I thought it was such a cool shot. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, okay, I know where it is. Let's see. And it's funny because with Mellows, their management, they have like their own photographer. They have their own photographer. They have like their own venue to do shots. And so anytime I've asked or it's been asked if I can do photos for them, it's declined. Okay, so why does it do that? So this is a shot I took of Gina that I really liked. It's a cool composition. I don't always get to get these kinds of photos. It's a bit more of a luck of the draw in terms of the lens that I use. Anyhow, I had this photo on my home screen and then I was looking for information or I was about to open up my phone and then from the side, all of a sudden Gina goes, hey, that's my picture. Like she kind of said it out loud. She's like, hey, that's my picture. And I was like, oh, yeah. She's let me see. She's saying this like pretty like within like earshot of quite a few people. And she goes, oh, I'm so happy. Like I remember that photo because I really liked it because I had sent the photos to, you know, the Frail and to her as well. So she's saying, oh, I'm so happy that you have like my photo on your phone. And it was just kind of like, yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I do have like various pictures, you know, of photos that I've taken like on my phone. I just don't know if it was taken like the wrong way or if it was assumed like, oh, do you like Gina type of thing. I wasn't sure how it was taken, how it was heard, how it was received. So I wasn't totally red-faced, but it caught me off guard. It really caught me off guard. So it was kind of a nice moment, an embarrassing moment. And if you ever meet Gina in person, she really is a sweetheart. Like she's such a sweetheart. And I do like her a lot just because of her personality and how warm she is and how nice she is to me personally. So, but yeah. So anyhow, yeah, that's my sort of embarrassing story. Maybe not to you guys, but to me, I was just like, it caught me off guard because she was like, hey, that's my photo on your phone. I was like, shoot. I didn't even think about that. So yeah. All right. So yeah, that's the shows. Sorry, let me go back real quickly. Let me go through that before I wrap up. Yeah, and then you know, like I did see Fathomless Skywalker. It was going to be an acoustic session today, which would have been really cool. I didn't get to talk about them or play their music. It is a bit late, so I won't play it for you guys right now either. Maybe next week. But they were really cool, and I may interact with them more in the future if time allows. But yeah, that would have been cool. And I'm sure if I had asked, maybe I could have taken photos for them. Again, I get into this like catch 'em all mentality, which I think can be bad. So I try my best to like not get into that. And then Emanon was playing tonight as well. So they would have been cool to see. I don't love them, like I don't like go nuts over them, but they're a great band, and I think they have some good music. So they would have been fun to see live. You know, especially with their new clothes on too. And then the last Market Shop store, but that would have been too late for me anyway. So, but yeah, that would have been a cool show to see tonight. But I was home, cleaned up, did my laundry, rested a bit, worked on photos. Um, that's kind of how it is. So yeah, March. Oh no, Sega. Double stick tape is not very sticky, or at least the one that I use. So I went over this last week. I'll go into this a bit quickly again. What's going on, Yosh? Um, excuse me. Next week, a cool show. Dizzy Metal, Little Lilith, Mellows at Kawanishiguchi Hearts. I did send some of my photos to Little Lilith. I have some more photos. I'll be sending them probably tonight or tomorrow. So I'm gonna reach out to them, see if they're okay with me doing photos for them next week as well. And I probably won't ask for a fee, which means that I can build my portfolio, make more connections, but still, again, like, yeah, you kind of have to like do a little trade-off. So that's gonna be great. The following week, I will be seeing Launcher 8 for the first time. Phantom Excalibur again, Lumerize again for a second time, Little Lilith again within so basically I'm seeing Little Lilith like every week. This past week, this coming week, and the following week, which is pretty interesting. So but yeah, we'll see. Maybe I can do that. So that's a liner show at Anti-Knock. All the liners are at Anti-Knock, Shinjuku. And then She Glapes, their album did drop. It's called Mother. It is on streaming services. I listened to it a couple of times. It's very bright, very warm, very happy album. Their music, like they are a metal band, but they really stretch and play with like that genre. So so yeah, She Glapes, I will be going to their show. Hopefully I'll do a short interview with them as well as do photos for them. Saiseiga will be there, ACOUSTIC will be there, another band called First Zero. The following day, April 13th, will be Band-Maid, the Billboard Acoustic. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I don't know how dressed up I'll get, probably not too much. If I don't have to, I won't, I don't. And then the 19th is Doll Parts, but it's also Shoujo S, Satoki, the lead singer. It's her birthday. And she did say that she was gonna contact me about maybe photos for that day. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm not sure. The following, the 20th, 420, there is a morning show with Nekomeshi and a few other bands. This is at Anti-Knock. They do a lot of morning shows, afternoon shows. And then the following, it's a Monday. So I'm pretty sure I cannot go. If I do go, I would go only for Little Lilith to maybe take some photos of them. Not Little Lilith, Let It Out, Lydia. But Gangire is playing, Noel, Cantoy, a couple other bands, and then Let Out Lydia is last. I wish they had been earlier, but they finished their stage at 9:55, which means that my doggy will be at home for a long time. So that's very iffy. And then Uyu's birthday at Wildside. So it'll be Mana Diagram, Dizzy Metal, Doll Parts, Gangire. That's a fantastic show. 426. If you guys are in town, 426, if you can get tickets, I don't know, Mana Diagram, it's my first time seeing them. Dizzy Metal, it'll be my fourth time. Doll Parts, I've seen quite a few. Gangire, I've seen a few times. All great live band. That's going to be fantastic. And then the following day, the 27th, I know there's a metal fest going on in Shibuya. I will be going just for the Bright Ear show at WWW. Bright Ear is a band that I always try to see they're so few and far between, but I love them. May, there's a few May shows. Oh yeah, and then 428, the day after, Dim Rays, Launcher 8, and I think a few other bands. It's gonna be hosted by Dim Rays. That's on a Monday. No, it's a Monday. So I don't know if I can go to that. I would love to, but that's very iffy too. Richard already got tickets for Saisega's show on the 11th of May. And then another really cool show that I probably can't go to is on the 23rd, which is Mellows, Broken by the Scream, and Dim Rays at Aoyama Rhythm. So, and then the following day, May 24th, is the Hades One Man, which will be fantastic. So, yeah. So I've already for sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For sure 5 shows. I have tickets and I'm like, guaranteed to go. And then the other 2 or 3 most likely. So yeah. Let's see what you guys said. Yeah, mono diagram at some point. Can I do it? Yeah, monthly planner. I try not to do it too early. I don't know if I try not to. I just don't, because I do get pretty busy. I write down the shows. I bookmark them. But yeah, just this is my way of doing things. If you don't have an account on Twitter X, I recommend that you do that. If there are bands that you really do want to see, then yes, just follow them, follow their accounts, and just look for any shows coming up. You can also follow venues like Shinjuku Antinok is a great one. Lifehouse Crescendo is another great venue. Shibuya Cyclone. Like there are venues that are sort of fairly sure things with great bands. Slightly larger ones. Shimokitazawa has smaller venues, they're a bit cheaper. But those are more obscure bands, which might be fantastic. But you just don't know what you're gonna get. So yeah, and then yes, Day of May. I didn't write that down, but yes, I will be there for that as well. Yeah, Rich, I saw Dom. I was like, Dominatrix? Day of Maid. Day of Maid. Yeah, see, like I think I definitely have a different mentality now because I do live here and I've attended again like so many shows. Last year I attended over 70 shows. And I don't want to do that just because it wasn't such a clear path, it was just like I was going to these shows and trying to make connections, which is great, and I did that, and I've connected quite a bit, like generally if I go to a show, like there's a fair people of people that know me. I'm not bragging about it, that's just a fact now. And like, bands that do know me and I can interact with them. So now that that's established, I don't have to go to every single show to be connected or close or like reach out to them or have some sort of connection. So I realize, yeah, it was very hard last year, especially with my my foot. I don't know how many this year. I haven't counted. I did realize I probably didn't attend at least anywhere from 5 to 10 shows that I said, it's okay, Peter. You don't have to go. It's okay. You don't have to go. So yeah, like again, there's some great shows I wish I could attend or I could have attended, but I don't feel the pressure there. And yeah, for you guys, it's like when you go on vacation, you try to eat all the best food. You get up like at 6 in the morning, go to like all the parks and like festivals and whatever else, have a great time, get your money's worth. For me, it's different. And so the mentality is very different when I'm talking with people who come here, and we're talking, and I'm like, I guess I don't feel that pressure to enjoy myself as much. I'm like, oh yeah, saw them last week. Sorry, not trying to brag, not trying to flex. That's just kind of how it is. Um, so yeah, there are definitely shows lined up. Definitely good stuff coming up. Oh, I think I did mention earlier, but Hades, their one man is May 24th. They're definitely working on new music. There won't be a Hara Fest. There won't be a Yuri Fest. I'm sure there will actually be like the the shows later on for Kuya and then for Mayo. But right now they're like focused. Like there's no there goes Saiseiga. There's no Sara shows, no solo band stuff. And then even with Hades, like they're not gonna be playing anything. Like 320 a few days ago, Thursday was their last show until their one man, May 24th. That's 2 months. That's 2 months. And last year in 2 months, they would have played at least 4 shows. Like just about. They were so busy last year. So maybe they accrued some money, maybe they kind of saved up. Hopefully they're okay. Like I want to help them out in any way possible, but at the same time, I can't be too pushy. But if they need me, I'll be there. So yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? With the dim race stuff, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But yeah, there are people. If you asked me on X, you have secured a CD. If you asked me here, then maybe we'll see. I'll have to contact dim race again to see if there are more CDs available. And so yeah, what I kind of going back real quickly to Hades and them not playing these shows and them kind of losing money and publicity because of that, but they're working on something big, or I don't know what exactly, to be honest. I didn't want to go too deep into it, but again, there's new music, there's a show, and who knows what surprises. Um, but I'm happy they're doing that, and it's cool that they have the balls to do that. Like, it it's kind of a gutsy move to just sort of like disappear out of the spotlight, especially these days with social media being just like so rampant, you know? It's like people get forgotten very, very easily. Um, but I kind of feel the same way. Like I don't have to be at every show. I don't have to do all of these things. And so I realize that if I do want to make a career out of this, out of promoting music, I do need to focus much more on the overseas aspect, on the probably video aspect, um, whether it be YouTube or other publication and stuff, all those kind of things, because there's more of you guys out there than there are these bands inside, and trying to get money just off of like doing photos, it's not gonna work. Like I kind of see that the way things operate. So still trying to figure things out. But yeah, so just letting you guys know where I'm at, what's going on. Um, we will still be giving you Band-Maid content. We will still be promoting them, and whenever there's something coming up that's worthwhile, because they do get pretty busy with like a lot of little things, and we don't want to do every little thing. And we don't want to do the whole like, here's the story of Band-Maid. At least I personally don't feel that way, because it's been done already anyway. So, but yeah, we will still be bringing you good news when it comes. So yeah. With that said, for those of you who do watch, if you do want to help support our channel, we do have a Patreon, MNN Tokyo Plus. There is a $2 subscription just to support on a monthly basis. And then there are different tiers. I haven't quite been the best at keeping to that, so I may adjust that this year as well. But I will try to give you as much info as I can of Band-Maid and other bands. But again, there is MNN, there is my Twitter X, there is the Instagram, which I'm doing as well. So being into social media, it's tough, especially when you don't like it. Yep. Them's the facts. All right, is there anything else to talk about? I don't know. I'll be seeing some of you pretty soon. So maybe I can start asking favors from you. Maybe you guys can bring me some food or some snacks from back home. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Or I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Sounds pretty good, right? New Bright Ear CD. Yeah, that's 4/17. No, what date is that? What's the date on that? It's coming up. It's the latter half of April. What was that? 3.5 weeks. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for having watched. It's almost 11:30, but I'm still glad it's 11:30 compared to 12:30 or 1. Yeah, I'm gonna start reaching out to some of you guys to bring me stuff. And I'm serious. I don't know who I'm gonna ask, but if you get a message from me, gosh, I wish you could like package pho and tacos and burritos. Ugh. Yeah, you guys go on, head over to Ryan, tell him I said hi. I would love to do another snack stream. Yeah, maybe I can do that with Dim Rays. But again, the problem is that their shows are so late. I can't really stick around too long. Maybe on another day. Yeah, we'll see who. But hey, feel free to bring over that stuff too. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of different ideas I'd like to do. Oh, like last time I mentioned about Whiskey Dust, doing like a little English type of thing, and then maybe doing a cover song together. That'd be cool. So it's just hard when you've got a regular job and you're just trying to like take care of stuff, and you've got a dog too at home, and you kind of want a little bit of me time too. So, but yeah, no problem at all, Ronnie. Thank you guys for watching. Like your support is always appreciated. Like it means so much. It definitely helps keep me afloat. And even though I've gotten used to talking to myself more or less in front of a camera, it's easier because you guys are there and you guys are so supportive and helpful. And yeah, I do hope that we have been faithful with bringing you guys information, with bringing you guys new bands, new music, or the same good music, same great people. But yeah, head on over to Ryan's. Again, maybe I'll say hi to him too. Maybe I'll just stop by after this is done and then walk my dog and go to sleep. So thank you guys. If you have any questions at all, please comment below. Also, if you do want a Dim Rays CD, please comment below. I do remember who asked me first, but just comment, please. Okay, comment that you want a Dim Rays CD, and I may see if there's any extras that I can get my hands on. Okay, so thank you guys. I will see you again, and yeah, we'll have some more good times coming up. Okay, all right. See you guys. Good night. Thanks, Jeff. Bye.